Hi there, I'm Anyssa from the Communication Studio. I am a communication designer and I assist people with social media. I went to a LinkedIn seminar a couple of weeks ago and I said that I would do a review on this book that they gave us. It's called The Startup of You, and if you missed the first one, you can go back. I'm still in the first part. I'm going very slow. The line that got me today was, the world is changing and the amount of time you spend on one job is shrinking. This means you need to adapt all the time. And if you fail to adapt, no one, not your employer, not the government, is going to catch you when you fail. I quite often find in social media that I have people that I've worked with for years that have been, I'm never going on Facebook. I don't need LinkedIn. I don't need to know about Twitter. Ugh, it's just too much. And then all of a sudden they realize with a job change or a management change that they need to understand about marketing. And that's really what this book is about. I'm just still in the first early pages of this chapter, and they're talking about Detroit and how they used to have such an advanced marketing system that they were going to create cars that every man with a good wage could afford. Both GM and Ford that was their goal. And there's a point where they became so top heavy they didn't hear what was going on. Their marketing was not a reflection of what was going on in the market. There was a time when you worked for these companies, you had a job for life. But as the markets changed, as environmental needs changed, even though employees could see what was going on in the bottom, uh, it was too late to stop it. They kept making big, expensive cars, but the market had changed. And even now, even though they say that anybody could afford a car, I know it'd be very hard for my daughter, Hannah, for example, to get a brand new car. And she works at a bank and has a very good job. My point being, though, is coming back to the whole idea of the title, is that we are all entrepreneurs and that we need to take management roles in our own positions. I think you'll find most gurus and management gurus and small business gurus will talk to you about how you are responsible for your own position. And what social media has let us do is to bridge the divide between business to business, business to company, and become person to person. And so a lot of people are like, I need to add social media to my business. It's that you need to grow into social media and realize that it just becomes a part of how you interact with your clients. They now have the opportunity to choose who they do business with and get to know who they're doing business with. I specifically teach LinkedIn as well as other social media platforms, but I specialize in that because it's one of those places where you can really learn about someone, find recommendations, find mutual acquaintances or cohorts that you have in common. So when you choose to do business with somebody, you've got a lot of opportunity to do a bit of research and make sure that you have common values. And I was speaking at St. Matthew's Parish Business Group last week, and I think that really was the key that we came down to, is that with social media, you have the opportunity to work with people with common values, and that you can find out a little bit ahead of time. So it's not as much of a mystery. So you're really working on that person to person and assisting each other in mutual success. So even though you may have met someone that you're not quite ready to do business with, you have the opportunity to assist them in their success. You have the opportunity to connect someone who needs their product possibly. So that really is where I think we're headed here with the Startup Review. Reading through Detroit, the fall of Detroit, we all have realized, I think, that we have to constantly stay on top of staying connected with what's going on in the world, keep building our networks. Some people say, well, why would I ever want to know somebody from high school, or I don't really keep in touch with those people from college. But if you're in a management position and you have a sales team that those might be good connections for, why wouldn't you want to assist them in doing that? And having really good, strong LinkedIn profiles is something you can do for your teaching that to your employees and through your company to do that, to assist them with their sales. You can help them build really strong leads. So if you have more questions about LinkedIn, if you want to know more about this book that I'm reading, my next talk will be at the Surrey Board of Trade on July 4th. We are right now in the midst of a Canada Day long weekend. I hope you're all having a good time. And then we also have a next LinkedIn training on July 9th in the Surrey Board of Trade boardroom. The Communication Studio is the Surrey Board of Trade social media ambassador. So we would love to see you out. And if you have any questions, reach us at thecommunicationstudio.ca.